The pacifistas began firing laser beams. Kobe signaled them to halt, fearing the petrified would be shattered. Boa shot forward like an arrow, aiming for Kobe's face. As Kobe braced for impact, a surge of haki erupted. Blackbeard seized Boa by the neck, wounding her. His power nullified hers. After the Straw Hat Pirates' bounties were revealed, each member reacted in their own unique way. Chopper was as dejected as a wilted dragonfly, dismayed by his pitifully low bounty. Nami beamed with delight, thrilled that her reward was just right. Frankie, enraged, tore the wanted poster to shreds because it lacked his face. One was so terrified they fainted. That was Usopp. Another was consumed by envy and jealousy. That was Sanji, who was even teased by his close friend Zoro. And then the one with the highest bounty was left starving. None other than Luffy himself. Another equally striking issue was the Cross Guild, led by Buggy, Crocodile, and Mihawk, who were checking in on one another. Why? Buggy was reaping rewards without lifting a finger. Yet astonishingly, Buggy stood as the figurehead of Cross Guild. It turned out his overly devoted followers had propelled his poster to the forefront, prompting the Marines to slap an astronomical bounty on his head. As a result, Buggy ascended to the ranks of the 4 emperors, standing shoulder to shoulder with Luffy. From this, a marine hunting organization emerged near Spring Island, the birthplace of Whitebeard. Aboard the ship of the Green Emperor, they held a modest drinking party. Ben Beckman asked Marco, "Are you really not joining our crew?" Marco replied, "Thanks for the ride. I'm old now, my strength's faded. I don't have the energy to babysit you big league pirates." Sanji protested, "I haven't caused any trouble, have I, Ben Beckman?" High in the sky, Marco waved farewell, calling out, "Catch you later." Not long before in Wano, Marco soared toward Luffy. Luffy asked, "Yamato, won't you come with us? Being a pirate's a blast." Sanji wailed and rolled on the ground, heartbroken over losing a stunning beauty to the crew. Yamato replied, "You know the tree man left because someone unleashed an overwhelming burst of haki. Kato might be gone, but with him out of the picture, others will come sniffing around. I can't abandon everyone now. I once thought we could both roam freely without worrying about Wano, but honestly, I'd love to be a full-fledged member of your crew." Luffy nodded, "That makes sense. I can let go of the weight in my heart. Momo and the others are in your hands." Zoro chimed in, warning Yamato, "Momo's got a lot of pride. Don't hurt him." Marco added, "There's a ship nearby that'll give me a lift, so I'm heading out." Luffy called after him, "You're leaving already. You saved me in the Great War, and I haven't even thanked you." In that legendary yet tragic battle, Marco had held off Akainu to shield Luffy. Marco asked Jin back, "Then we were all ready to risk it all. Ever wonder why?" Jin chuckled, "It's ancient history, who can say?" Marco continued, "I'm certain you'd be proud to see how far you've come." Luffy flashed a radiant grin. Marco said, "This era belongs to you youngsters now. Stay strong and we'll meet again." At Amazon Lily, the island of women history was made as men invaded for the first time, leaving the town in ruins. Boa Hancock declared, "As long as I'm here, the Marines will keep coming. But where can I go in this world? At this point, I might as well track down Luffy and marry him." As always, Boa's thoughts drifted to Luffy. Weeks earlier, before the gates were breached, the Marines attacked. Female warriors stood guard outside, firing arrows to defend the island. Kobe ordered the deployment of pacifistas to the battlefield and recorded the Marine ships successfully landing ashore. The warriors were overwhelmed, unable to withstand a child with devastating power, a young pacifista. Suddenly, the Marines spotted a warship trailing their fleet, a pirate vessel belonging to Blackbeard's crew, one of the 4 emperors. A cataclysmic event unfolded as the sea churned violently, striking fear into the Marines. Blackbeard laughed, "I'm here for the pirate empress. I won't let power like hers fall into Marine hands." Katarina Devon sneered, "Boa's got a gorgeous face. I'll claim her head as a fine trophy." After a brutal neck twist, Blackbeard said, "Once I've taken her power, do whatever you want." Vasco Shot wanted to capture Boa alive for his amusement. A Marine colonel appeared, summoning a vice admiral to engage Blackbeard's crew, but they awaited orders from headquarters. Furious, Blackbeard roared, "I didn't come here for you gnats." He unleashed a punch, triggering a shockwave that shattered the earth-uprooted trees and obliterated the Marines in an instant. He bellowed, Boa Hancock, show yourself. Inside, Kobe raced to Boa's palace, now surrounded by Marines. The female warriors held their ground. Arrows flew toward Helmeppo, but Kobe arrived just in time. Kobe pleaded with Boa. The Marines aren't here to fight. Surrender, and I promise we'll withdraw immediately. Boa's two sisters offered to deal with Kobe, branding him a schemer. Boa snapped, no need for words. I'll never surrender to be caged again. Boa Hancock resolved to fight to the bitter end. Outside, Blackbeard toyed with the Marines until his crew cried for help. They'd been thoroughly thrashed. Blackbeard was stunned. You're kidding, losing to this kid. But upon closer inspection, he saw white hair, tanned skin, and black wings. The kid charged at Blackbeard. Blackbeard realized it was a pacifista. What in the world is this? The kid unleashed a colossal sword, hurling Blackbeard into the city wall. The strike was so powerful it carved through a chunk of the island's mountain. Blackbeard emerged from the rubble, seething with rage. The pacifista attacked again. Seeing Blackbeard distracted, the Marines rushed in. Blackbeard activated his black hole power, unleashing dark tendrils that devoured buildings and people alike. On the other side, Boa stepped through the gate. None could resist the allure of the pirate empress. With her powers, she fired countless love arrows, petrifying scores of people. Not just soldiers, but even Vice Admiral Yamakichi. The pacifistas began firing laser beams. Kobe signaled them to halt, fearing the petrified would be shattered. Boa shot forward like an arrow, aiming for Kobe's face. As Kobe braced for impact, a surge of haki erupted. Blackbeard seized Boa by the neck, wounding her. His power nullified hers. Boa shouted, "Get your filthy hand off me." Blackbeard sneered. They call you Empress, but it's just a title. Most of my foolish crew is petrified now. I've had my eye on your power for ages. Your beauty makes it terrifying. If I kill you, they'll remain statues forever, and no one who inherits this power can undo it. Blackbeard continued, looks like we're at an impasse. Hero, you helped me at Rocky Port to topple Ochoku and rule Pirate Island. If I let her go, do you think she'll play fair and restore everyone? Kobe replied, if she doesn't free the Marines, I'm in deep trouble. Boa declared, I'll do it if both of you leave this island. Blackbeard scoffed, I'm not falling for that. Release you and you'll turn us to stone. I didn't think any man could resist your charm. Blackbeard resolved to kill Boa. Kobe shouted, stop. Don't throw lives away. Suddenly a voice rang out. I knew the Marines wouldn't destroy this island, but I didn't expect this chaos. Sorry, I'm late, Hancock. It was Silver's Rayleigh, the Dark King. Rayleigh said, a former apprentice of Whitebeard, eh? Sounds childish, but I really don't like you. His arrival stunned all present. Rayleigh told Boa, free those petrified. I'll ensure this ends without further chaos. The invaders will leave the island. I won't tolerate any tricks. The island returned to peace. Shakuyaku said, we're lucky to be alive thanks to you, Rayleigh. But new challenges loomed. Even the calm belt was no longer safe. With Vegapunk's sea stone steamships, the Marines' new weapons, and Blackbeard's presence, Rayleigh admitted, we got lucky. Circumstances let us lean on reputation to resolve this. I'm not sure I'd win a head-on fight with Blackbeard now. Boa remarked, word is the Marines are replacing the 7 warlords with those new weapons. After all this, those 2 didn't even have a scratch. Strangely, one of them looks just like me when I was young. Meanwhile, a Marine ship prepared to dock at Egghead, tied to the kidnapping of Colonel Kobe, the hero of Rocky Port, now in Blackbeard's clutches. His fate uncertain. Aboard the Sunny, Luffy refused to believe Sabo killed Vivi's father. Sabo would never do that, not even in a dream. Robin agreed, noting the Revolutionary Army opposes the Celestial Dragons, not kings. The newspaper reported that the Revolutionary Army had declared war on the Celestial Dragons, with Sabo, chief of staff, assassinating King Cobra of Alabasta. Vivi, his daughter, was missing. Furious Luffy wanted to head to Alabasta immediately. Zoro asked, what's the point? The old man's dead and Vivi was last seen in Marijiwaze. Luffy decided to go there instead. Chopper panicked. Going to Marijiwaze was suicide. Zoro yelled, idiot, that's the enemy's stronghold. You want to take on all of Marine headquarters. Luffy accused Zoro of being scared. Zoro clarified, calm down. I'm just saying we have no leads. Sanji was heartbroken over Vivi's disappearance, praying for her safety. Chopper mourned Cobra's death, saying he was so kind even to pirates like us. Usopp agreed, calling Cobra the greatest king. Nami was saddened and worried, wondering how Vivi would cope. Jinbe predicted this year's reverie would be tumultuous. Frankie asked, "That's the brother we met in Dressrosa, right?" Brooke said, "I've never heard complaints about Alabasta's rule." Nami, Luffy, and Chopper couldn't bear it. They wanted to rescue Vivi. Zoro snapped, "Enough. Luffy, remember what you said about Ace. He had his own adventure, and you trusted him to walk his path until he truly needed help. Why underestimate Vivi? She can handle herself. If an opportunity arises, we'll seize it, but for now keep faith and don't cause a mess." Luffy, livid, shouted, "You can't stop us from worrying. You're just a demon, an Onigashima, a Kato, a Momo." Sanji jumped in, "You loud-mouthed jerk." Zoro retorted, "Number 4 has no say." Robin, reading the paper, said, "A lot happened while we were in Wano. Things are escalating fast. Abolishing the 7 warlords has unleashed these powerful pirates back onto the seas. As a result, the Cross Guild was formed and Buggy became an emperor." Luffy, hearing this, thought it was a mistake. Robin said, "Luffy, there are some familiar names here. Want to hear about them?" Luffy pondered, then said, "No, I'll leave it to you. If something big comes up, let me know." Robin smiled. "All right, I'll handle it. I don't want to overwhelm you." Luffy lay back and said, "Sabo's innocent, I'm sure of it. He had a rough childhood. He just wants to ensure no one loses their freedom like he did. I want to see the world and write about it." Luffy grinned wide, saying, "My turn." "I want." Though we don't know exactly what Luffy said, it shocked Zoro. Jinbe asked, "What did you just say?" Nami, incredulous, asked again. Brooke laughed until he cried. Usopp was floored. "You're not serious, right?" Frankie thought it was epic. Sanji quipped, "Someone needs to sharpen their sword and check their head." Robin had 3 hits over her head. Chopper was ecstatic. Usopp thought no way anyone could pull that off. Luffy declared, "But I'll have my shot if I become the Pirate King." Usopp couldn't fathom how Luffy conceived it. Luffy added, "I've never told any of you before." Don't forget to like and share this video if you thought it was awesome. Subscribe to my channel to stay updated with more exciting One Piece content. Thanks, and see you next time.